Good morning. Welcome to the Build in Digital micro conference. My name is Joe Brune. I'm the Managing Director of Build in Digital, and I am today's host. Today, we've got a really exciting session planned, looking at transforming construction, the power of visualization software for enhanced project success. This session will explore how advanced visualization tools are transforming the construction industry by enhancing design processes and project management. Our speakers today will explore the latest trends in 3D modeling, augmented reality, virtual reality applications, showcasing how these technologies improve collaboration, stakeholder engagement, and decision making. We will discover how embracing these innovative tools can elevate your projects and drive efficiency in the digital construction landscape. We're moving on to our second presenter today, which is Simon Mabey, who is the founder and director of Digital Urban Place.
Okay, great. So similar tools Ben and his team was using. Slightly different flavor to this one, which is great. So anybody recognize the area that's on the screen? These three buildings are the giveaway, but this is Wirral, and the visualization is taken from a digital model that we built for Wirral. I started 7 years ago modeling Birkenhead Town Centre, and we've now modelled the entire borough, which is 130 square kilometres, to a tolerance of 150 millimetres. And that's the sort of work that we are doing. I'm going to start with a short video just to provide an overview of the work that we do. Okay, so that's what we're doing now. But I thought I'd start with my journey with 3D technology, including VR, which is an extreme use case for visualization. So I started working 3D back in the late 80s, modeling buildings and sticking perspectives onto photographs for planning officers to review. Then in the 90s, I was constructing more detailed 3D and 4D building models and using this to coordinate information. It's something that we now know as BIM. I was thinking about the spaces between buildings for cities and approached Manchester City Council. They commissioned me and I started building a 3D model of Manchester, bringing together the various design proposals into a single digital model. I then approached a company called Arup with my city modelling ideas, and they offered me a job, which meant I got the opportunity to work with lots of different disciplines, and explore how these 3D models could be a canvas for visualizing technical data. So some examples of that is taking the output from a micro simulation traffic model, where you have lots of numbers, and importing these numbers into the 3D city model. So I had moving 3D objects, car, buses, and taxis, and I could process animations to share this proposed traffic solution with other stakeholders. We could also use numbers to color code geometry. In this case, it's displaying changes to air quality from the traffic model, and the buildings are also color coded to show their energy consumption. Within the same model, I converted the below ground service data into 3D to help people understand some of the constraints behind the proposed design. And then came games engines, which provided an opportunity to make visualizations more interactive and engaging. So just for reference, this is my daughter who's now 25. So this is a few years ago. And my journey with immersive technology really started with projects for the RHS and installations at flower shows. So it's quite a tough crowd for a technology installation. The first project was a virtual reconstruction of this building, which was in the gardens of Chatsworth House until 1920s, when it was blown up with dynamite. I created a virtual reconstruction of the building using information from the archives. And for the RHS Flower Show, I processed 3 stereo 360 views, each with a narrative about the building and the impact it had in 1843. I staged this for the Flower Show in 2017, and in this example, our Joseph Paxton actor is standing on the balcony looking around. I was simply using mobile phones with headphones connected to an MP3 player, which provided the narrative. And it was a nice surprise to see how engaging and accessible it was with everyone, and how popular the installation was with the public, but we did struggle to manage the crowds. I even created a bronze cast from the 3D print of the model, which is on display in the gardens at Chatsworth House. And then our team more recently revisited this project, and we now developed a newer version of this work using the same 3D data, but setting it up as a web-based streaming version. That original work was using stereo 360 views. In this project, we processed a stereo animation to create an orchid pollination experience. Started out by creating a natural looking environment containing lots of different orchid flowers, and then processing a stereo immersive fly-through where people got to experience pollinating different orchid flowers as an insect. So it's very much like a roller coaster ride, except you're very small. The installation again used mobile phones, only this time they were networked with vibrations in the seats. And with this network approach, you could start the animation all at once, which meant that we could accommodate between 500 and 700 people a day. We toured the UK with this installation and had 20,000 people all got to experience it. I thought I'd briefly mention this project, which used a 360 video camera. The project was on trees with footage from flying a drone over the tree canopy with a 360 camera, and also 360 stop frame footage, which started on a branch in the trees with the sunrise, and a 360 sound recording of the dawn chorus. Visitors had to put on a VR headset. They could use the hand controller to press play. But it was a 2-week production, and it had quite a big impact and was really well received. I then wanted to explore group immersive experiences. I didn't like that people got a sense of feeling isolated when wearing a VR headset. So I started using a local network of PCs. In this case, they're hidden behind the backdrop. The purpose of this project was to encourage the use of Manchester's tram for visits out of the city. So you started at a tram and then ended up flying around a meadow, going in the direction of your head. And everyone was in the same meadow, so you could direct and follow friends around. And as you explored the meadow, we introduced breeze, scent, and personalized vibrations. to create a multi-sensory experience, and it was easy to witness the benefits from this multi-user approach. It was a popular installation that attracted a crowd with lots of nice feedback. I then had the opportunity to help Network Rail with consultation on the future of our smaller railway stations. This was to be a kit of parts that could be reconfigured. Their previous engagement activities only attracted a small, narrow demographic, and we were tasked with addressing this. So we developed a couple of VR installations that toured the UK. It was a 4 at a time installation at Manchester Science Museum. And this is the walk around version. Sorry, this is the walk around version that was set up at the V&A in London. The museum at that time, the museums would not allow under 13s to wear VR headsets. So we also integrated this with a flat screen gamepad version so that family groups could all explore together. So you'd have the parents in VR exploring and the youngsters with their avatars running all around them. We captured feedback on the proposed design, and we're all surprised with the detail and quality of the feedback. People were literally testing out the building and giving really great feedback. And as a result of that, the design was adapted. We tracked the demographics, and the range was a match to the national demographic. So it was a job well done. These are typical examples of other engagement events that we've provided for urban regeneration projects. By creating an enjoyable immersive experience, you attract a wider demographic, and the project team gets to hear from many more voices. And whilst this work typically starts with a specific project, there is a longer term legacy value in the digital asset, and all of our digital models are still in use, often adopted by the planning authority and their DM teams. We set up a cloud-based management platform that stores all the data and tracks changes. Clients have live access to the digital model with an intuitive user interface so they can explore from above or at street level. The system provides an audit trail for all updates, including the planning applications in 3D. The 3D data is also shared with external design teams who can import it into their own software. They can clear sites, switch off buildings, and insert their own proposals, sharing this with the local authority's planning team. So to wrap up, visualizations are an output. Control and manage the data to build long-term value into your projects. And with this, you can create a more efficient, engaging, and enjoyable process for everyone.
We then heard from Simon Mabey, founder and director at Digital Urban Place. Simon's presentation showed how immersive visualization transforms client consultations for urban regeneration by making the process more engaging and inclusive. Beyond individual projects, digital models have long-term legacy value, often adopted by planning authorities and reused across multiple schemes. The system also enabled collaboration, with external design teams able to test proposals and share them seamlessly with local authorities. The three big takeaways were that visualization drives wider participation, creates lasting digital assets, and delivers more efficient collaborative project outcomes.